Ghosts punish the husband for cheating on his wife. She discovers that her husband is cheating on her. To get him away from his lover, she plans a family trip to a secluded place called Bayou. However, the journey takes a dark turn when they realize that their neighbors are not ordinary and pose a serious threat. Can they survive their stay in this remote area? Strap in, movie enthusiasts, it's recap time. Today, we will be diving into the story of the mystical horror film A House on the Bayou from the year 2021. So, let's start. The story starts with Jessica sitting on the sofa, crying. John comes home and asks if everything is all right. Initially, she says yes, but when he presses her, she reveals that she knows about his affair with Vivian. John tries to explain, but Jessica interrupts him. She says that she won't divorce him because she values their family and what they've built together. However, he must agree to her conditions. First, he can never see Vivian again, except to say goodbye once. Second, their daughter, Anna, must never find out. Third, they are going on a family vacation. She then tells him to pick Anna up from soccer practice, and they set off on their trip. When they arrive, Anna is amazed by the size of the house. Jessica explains that the owner wants to sell the house in a month and has hired her agency for the job. Meanwhile, he has allowed them to stay there. They go inside, and Jessica sets up her camera for a virtual tour. Later, Jessica tells John there's a store 20 miles away where they can get groceries and wine because she wants to cook veal cutlets. John suggests grilling burgers instead because he dislikes veal. Jessica insists on veal cutlets, and John accuses her of being spiteful. He leaves Anna in the car as they head to get groceries. At the grocery store, John starts shopping while his daughter, Anna, browses through vintage fashion magazines. John notices the veal, but deliberately ignores it. Meanwhile, Anna meets a boy named Isaac, the shopkeeper's grandson. Isaac tells her she resembles his ex-girlfriend, but is much cuter. He asks where they live, and Anna mentions they're staying in a large house a bit far from the store. Isaac accurately says it's 20 miles east, and reveals they are neighbors. He then suggests they have ice cream together sometime. Anna and John leave the store. As they sit in the car, John looks at the receipt and notices a creepy handwritten note. "You are being watched by the devil." He shows it to Anna and suggests they shop somewhere else next time. Anna dismisses it as a joke and says she doesn't mind coming back. When they return to the house, they find Jessica trying to open a locked door. John also tries but fails. Jessica then asks John about the veal cutlets. John responds that the store didn't have any, so he bought burger meat instead. Just then, there's a knock on the door. It's Isaac, who, along with his grandfather, wants to invite them to dinner since they are new neighbors. Initially, Jessica declines, explaining that they're on a family vacation and have other plans. But Isaac mentions that they have prepared to cook veal cutlets and have plenty in stock. Surprised, Jessica asks if they have veal in the store, and Isaac confirms that a new shipment arrived recently, and it's on display. After he leaves, John tells her not to accept the invitation. Jessica retorts that there were indeed veal cutlets at the store. John accuses Isaac of lying and argues that Jessica is trusting a stranger over him. Jessica, upset, responds that she doesn't trust John and believes he didn't buy the veal simply because he hates it. He points out that Anna also dislikes veal, but Jessica dismisses this, saying that Anna is not even an important thing to her. John admits that he cheated on Jessica because she often treats him poorly, while Vivian made him feel valued. Jessica starts crying, saying she has always loved John, but he betrayed her. John hugs her to calm her down. Meanwhile, Anna starts having a nosebleed. John and Jessica rush over to check on her. John urged Jessica to cancel their dinner plans at Isaac's house because Anna isn't feeling well. Just then, there's a knock on the door. It's Isaac, who explains that their oven broke, so he and his grandfather brought all the ingredients to cook veal at their house. They are waiting outside with the food. John and Jessica agree to let them come in and cook. Isaac's grandfather heads to the kitchen and starts cooking. John offers to help and asks the grandfather why he wrote the disturbing message on the receipt. The grandfather cryptically replies that when people do bad things, they open a door for the devil, who is always watching. Meanwhile, Anna introduces Isaac to her cat, Taby. As they sit down for dinner, Isaac volunteers to light the candles and goes straight to the drawer where the candles are kept. On his way, he also lightly touches Anna's shoulder. Jessica goes to the kitchen to fetch matches and tells John she's uncomfortable with how Isaac knew exactly where the candles were and the way he touched Anna. John advises her to wait until they finish dinner. Returning to the dining room, Jessica tells their guests that they should leave as soon as dinner ends, if not sooner. Isaac responds, "I know there's enough room in the house for all of us. There are 6 bedrooms, plus a bonus room, a game room, and even the locked room," hinting that he knows about the locked room as well. Suddenly, Anna's nose starts bleeding again, and she faints at the table. Anna wakes up a few minutes later. John firmly tells Isaac to leave, but Isaac pulls out a key from his pocket, claiming it's for the locked room. Then he casually mentions that his grandfather is with their cat, Tabby. Alarmed, they all rush toward the locked room. They find the grandfather near the locked door. He claims the door was open, the cat went inside, and then it got locked again. Jessica accuses him of lying, saying the door was always locked. Suddenly, the power goes out, and Isaac lights a candle. Jessica insists that the grandfather and Isaac leave immediately. The grandfather reveals that Isaac isn't his grandson. Jessica instructs Anna to leave the cat inside. John snatches the key from Isaac, but it doesn't work. Isaac then says he must have brought the wrong key and leaves. John, frustrated, asks the grandfather if they are trying to rob them. The grandfather replies that they have nothing he wants. He then shares a story about Isaac. One day, Isaac appeared out of nowhere, claiming his parents were dead and he had no place to stay. The grandfather took him in. Jessica asks how long Isaac has been living with him. The grandfather vaguely replies that in Bayou, it's hard to keep track of time, but it could be years or even decades. He notes that Isaac doesn't seem to age. The grandfather says he has something important to tell them, but suggests they play some music first, so Isaac won't overhear. He picks up a tape and plays it. Instead of music, it's a recording of John's last meeting with Vivienne. In the recording, John says he loves Vivienne and suspects Jessica might have followed him, which is why they were caught. He plans to divorce Jessica after the trip and start a new life with Vivienne. Jessica is stunned upon hearing the recording. At that moment, Isaac returns with Tabby, the lost cat. Suddenly, they see something moving outside the window. Isaac calmly suggests it might be a coyote and retrieves a gun from a hidden spot. He invites John to join him outside to check. John hesitates, accusing Isaac of planning to shoot him. Isaac hands the gun to his grandfather and calls John to come with him. Outside, John says to Isaac that he was supposed to help rob the house and shoot Jessica, making it look like a robbery so Anna wouldn't suspect anything. Isaac mocks John, calling John a wife murderer. John tells him to shut up and carry on the plan. Reluctantly, Isaac agrees, and they go back inside. John tells Jessica that the intruders will rob them and then leave. They head to the locked room. Isaac opens the door and asks John to enter first. As soon as John steps inside, Isaac locks him in. John pounds on the door, shouting for Jessica not to believe anything Isaac says. There's a knock at the door. When Jessica opens it, she finds Vivienne. Vivienne explains that she received a text from John asking her to come because he said Jessica was gone. She says she's here to end things and apologize. Jessica tells Vivienne that John didn't send that text. They're being robbed and the robbers lured her there. Jessica takes a mace from Vivienne and tells her to leave immediately and call the police since their phones aren't working. Vivienne promises to get help and heads to her car, but it won't start. Meanwhile, Isaac instructs his grandfather to take Anna and grab the gasoline. Inside the locked room, John yells that Isaac has betrayed him and won't get any money. Isaac, laughing, responds that he doesn't care about the money. He then tells John to open the closet inside the room, claiming it's the only way out. John opens the closet and starts screaming in horror. Isaac's grandfather drags Anna to where Vivienne is struggling to start her car. Jessica pleads with him to let them go, but he orders Anna to pour gasoline on Vivienne's car. As the can is too heavy for Anna, Jessica takes over and sprays the gasoline, then sets the car on fire as instructed. Jessica then attacks the grandfather with the mace and kills him in a desperate attempt to save Vivienne. However, the fire rapidly engulfs the car. Jessica hands the gun to Anna and tells her to shoot Isaac if he appears. Jessica rushes inside the building to save John. She finds him being attacked by a coyote, already near death. With his last breath, John asks if Vivienne is alive and pleads with Jessica to tell Vivienne that he loves her. Jessica nods, assuring him that Vivienne is alive and she will deliver his message. Meanwhile, Isaac approaches Anna and confesses that he likes her and wants to marry her. He promises to show her unseen things if she comes with him on his boat. Just then, Jessica arrives and shoots Isaac to protect Anna. As he lies wounded, Isaac reveals that he has lived there for years, teaching wrongdoers a lesson. He admits he doesn't know what he truly is, but says he liked Anna. He then hands Jessica the key to their car. Jessica and Anna leave in the car and drive to a police station. Jessica tells the sheriff everything that happened. The sheriff informs her that there's nothing at the location except a swamp. Jessica insists on showing them the place. When they reach the location, they find nothing but a swamp. On their way back, the sheriff hands Jessica her camera. Surprised, she takes it and plays a video on it. The video shows Isaac saying, "We are right behind you." Jessica looks back and sees Isaac and his grandfather driving by in a truck. Isaac waves at her, causing Jessica to freak out. The sheriff explains that Isaac and his grandfather help maintain law and order by punishing wrongdoers and that they are not human. Jessica returns to the police station, picks up Anna, and they leave to continue their lives. I hope you liked the story recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.